Hello, welcome student. Welcome to the e-classes of Government PG College Dholpur, and this is Monica, Assistant Professor English. In our previous lecture, we have already discussed about the Robert Browning and our latest related topic, that is My Last Duchess, and today we'll begin with the text of this poem. In introduction, I have already told you that the particular related poem was a dramatic monologue. There two persons are involved here and supposed to be presented here. One is the speaker, that is Duke of Ferrara, and the second character is the messenger, or the person who is there to negotiate about the next marriage that is going to be performed with the Duke and his second wife. So we'll begin with the text today, and it is, "That's my last duchess, painted on the wall, looking as if she were alive." So during the negotiation, when these two people are having a conversation, the Duke bring the messenger to his art gallery, or he's having a tour with that messenger and showing so many things, and among these things are artistic piece or precious things that he had in his gallery. So among them, the first one was the painting or the portrait of his former wife. This portrait belonged to his former wife, and it is saying, painted on the wall, looking as if she were alive. So these lines also explains that this artistic piece or this painting was quite wonderful, quite beautiful, and it was so impressive that the Duchess was looking alive as she will speak or as she will move. I call that piece a wonder. Now Fra Pandolf's hands worked busily a day, and there she stands. And at the same time, Duke is referring the related artist or the painter also to the messenger, and he is saying, these were the hands of Fra Pandolfs who that busily worked a day. Hand means the painter was doing or was busy in this painting for a whole day, and there she stands. There she stands again is referring to the painting. Then after the labor of a whole day, there is my last duchess standing in front of us. Will it please you sit and look at her? I said, Fra Pandolfs by design, for never read strangers like you that pictured countenance. Here it means, first thing, he is willing that the messenger will appreciate the beauty of the painting, not the Duchess only. And you will make it clear why he is saying so. He says, will it please you? You sit and look at her. I said, Fra Pandolf, by design, for never read strangers like you that pictured countenance. He is also willing to explain the greatness and the expertise of the painter, and because he is saying, he mentioned intentionally, the Duke mentioned the name of the painter because he is very well aware of that the people or the common people, or stranger means here the common people who are not very well aware of the name of the artist and the type of arts. That's why he mentioned this name, and he is asking actually, will you please, would you like to sit and look at her and look at this painting, for never read strangers like you that pictured countenance. A kind of expressions has been captured or has been portrayed here by the artist, the depth and passion of its earnest glance, but to myself they turned, since none puts by the curtain I have drawn for you, but I, within brackets, here a very deep and profound meaning or the explanation is there. He's saying here the depth and passion of its earnest glance of eyes, actually the passion and the depth of expression that has been captured here in this portrait but to myself they turned. In this particular line, you'll see they turned. They are here, it is for the eyes. So the Duke is saying the passions and the depth of glance that you can see in this painting, but these eyes turned from my side. Okay, it means he is very doubtful, or he was, still he was very doubtful with the character of the Duchess, or doubtful for the Duchess as a person, and he said, from my side they turned, since none puts by the curtain I have drawn for you but I. So within the brackets, the meaning is here, only you are able to see it now because I am only allowed to do this thing. There is no one else who will draw the curtain for any other person or for anyone, only other than me. There is no one. The curtain I have drawn for you but I. This is me only. So you won't be able to see through other person. I am the only person. So another meaning is also here, that all the kind of context with his contacts with his former wife or with his Duchess, the Duke was willing to have with him only, not with other person. And seemed as they would ask me if they durst, and seemed as they would ask me. So because the painting is looking alive, as he already told you, or to the messenger also, so eyes are also alive, and he is asking, these are as much alive as it is asking me, as if they durst. Durst here is actually, this is an archaic word, and this is used for dare. Okay, to have courage. How such a glance came there, not the first. Are you to turn and ask thus, sir? It was not her husband's presence only called that spot of joy into the Duchess' cheek. Perhaps Fra Pandolf chanced to say. So here he is mentioning here how such a glance came there. Such a glance means how it was possible that eyes full of passions, okay, full of depth, came on that painting, because she was having that kind of expression in her eyes. That is why only Fra Pandolf was able to portray that same thing on that painting. Now he is again, gradually you will see how he is unfolding according to him the character or the personality of a wife. Now here he say it was not her husband presence only. Okay, he is talking about here the expression or the passion she used to have, or she was having in that particular painting. He is saying not only her presence, only her husband's presence only called that spot of joy into the Duchess' cheeks. Perhaps Fra Pandolf chanced to say, her mental lapse over my lady's wrist too much, or paint must never hope to reproduce the faint half flush that dies along her throat. Such stuff. Now he's just saying because she was having that kind of thing, that's why Fra Pandolf was also able to say. And he is saying here that her mental lapse over my lady's wrist too much. The psychology or the mentality of the Duchess, the Duke is explaining to the messenger that she was a kind of a lady, or paint must never hope to reproduce that faint half flush that dies along her thought, because only the paint can never be able to produce such kind of thing. Because she was having that expression, that's why he painted that half flush that dies along her thought. Half flush is unable to be painted. Such stuff was courtesy, she thought, and cause enough for calling up that spot of joy. So these were the things: was courtesy, she thought, and cause enough for calling up that spot of joy. So for duchess, he is saying, for my last duchess, minor things were quite enough to make her please. She could be blush on minor things, she could smile very easily. One more thing, today we'll just stop till here. In our next class we'll begin with further text. One more thing is here, these minor things, that she was very expressive, she used to smile in presence of other people also, not only in front of his husband. This will express there are some kind of rules, you can say, or the way of conducts or way of behavior, or the set particular rules in royal societies or elite classes that used to be, especially in Victorian age, that women should smile that much, they should smile, it should not be more than that, how they should express their expressions. So this is a in this manner this poem is also a representative poem of Victorian age. So when he is telling here the character of her duchess, he is also expressing the general conduct of women in that particular age. So here one more thing is there, why she was having that kind of conduct. It is supposed in its historical background that the last duchess of the duke was not very well educated, or was not educated in that particular manner that he was willing to have and his wife. So these were the things, according to the duke, she was lacking in areas. So this is it for today's class, and further we'll begin in further class, and we will have an eye on our text also. Thank you.